everyone, and welcome to day 6 of Web Development Basics by First Creative Studio. This is our first CSS class, so let's go to what CSS. CSS, the full meaning is cascading style sheets. That's the full meaning of CSS, cascading style sheets. And I want to tell you that luckily for us, we have been doing CSS. Yes, it's a different way. It was part of the HTML class. I sneak it in somehow, but we've started with CSS. It's not today that is our first class. There are some things we're doing with HTML that are actually CSS things. Okay, so now what does CSS do? CSS helps to describe how HTML elements are to be displayed on screen, in the browser, paper, or any other media. Now, it also helps to save a lot of work, as it can control with CSS alone. You can control how different web pages look all at the same time. I will get to that part very soon. So now there are different types of ways you can use CSS. One is inline CSS. Inline CSS. Another one is internal CSS. And the one that we will learn at the end of the class, or as the class is ending, is external CSS. Now we've used these two already. We've used inline. Inline, when we had a we had something like this. Okay, let's put a paragraph tag. And we came here and we did when we did this in HTML, when we're adding colors, yes, that's CSS. And this writing CSS this way, when we put style in the same line and everything, is called inline CSS. Now, internal CSS is the one where instead of doing this, we came up here, and this is the one, remember the border for the table, instead of putting it here and specifying style, border, this, that, we came here and put whatever we're going to put, input for the P. This is inline CSS. This, when we put all our CSS, we carry all of them and put them in between style tags. That is internal CSS. External CSS, like I said, at the end of the class, our class ends this week. Yay! It's been a long but interesting ride. At the end of the class, we'll be introduced to external CSS. So basically, that's the way CSS works. You can use it for anything. And also, I realized I didn't show you, you can even style body. Like, you can say, like, somebody was like, she wants background to be, she wanted to put the background color. So I'll delete this so we can see what happens. Put the background, you want the background of your page to be something. Just come here, style. Equals to background, not color, background color. Let's call it, let me see, teal. I don't know if that's a color in the HTML this thing, but let me try. Save and run. Launch in Chrome. Yeah, okay. So this is it. Very simple. You can style your body, and remember, doing it this way is inline CSS. But the best way, I said, just to make your listing neat. And also, if the problem is with your coloring alone, or your styling with CSS coloring, I meant CSS, with the problem is your CSS, this, like, instead of showing a particular color, it's not showing. If you put all of them here in the style, you're just going to, after everything, you're going to leave your HTML and come here. It's easy to put all your styling into one place. You'll be able to easily find the problem. So now let's switch all this. Remember that this is what we're getting. Background is still the line of 1 is pink. So let's change it to internal CSS, which is what we are going to be using, because honestly it's better this way, and it's easy to convert from internal CSS to external CSS. External CSS is the standard way you should actually put all your CSS. So body, we just come here, ground color teal, teal, semicolon. Next one, we want P, curly bracket, tab, color pink. Now let me delete this. And delete this too. Then we save and run. Save. Then let's run. Yeah. So that's it. Same thing. This is the previous one. This is it. Now also, one interesting thing you can do, let's say you go to a website and you like their page, you can always view the code. And how do you view the code? You right click, you scroll down and view page source. That's how you view the code using a laptop. Look at this, is it. Look at it. So that's done. And that's it. So it's easier to put all your code here, and notice the spacing. There's always a semicolon after everything you do, and you don't combine. There's nothing like you put this Ctrl+X inside this. No. The same way we don't put tags inside other tags. So I mean, 1 2 3, trying to put it back. Yeah, same way we don't put tags inside other tags. This curly bracket, we leave them to their perspective owners. Like this P is referring to paragraph tag, body is referring to this body, right? So if we had put this P in a div and wanted to style the div or style all the elements in the div, here we would have been putting here either the class of the div, and the class is always specified in style with dots, whatever the name of the class is. I'm just putting dot class so we know. Then your curly bracket. Then if it was by the ID, you want to specify hashtag whatever the name of the ID is. So that's how CSS functions. It's not difficult, but you also have to be very, very, very careful. Now there's one thing we do just in case. There are some browsers, let me delete this class and ID. There are some browsers that once you start styling, once you start putting anything, Sorry, this is view page source. Once you start styling, once you start putting anything, instead of it putting it this way, like where everything is floating to the end, there will be one very small space that they're given. So it's as if your page is within something else. Meanwhile, what you want is the color or whatever you're designing to be everywhere. So a good way to avoid that, or just to be on the safe side, you just come here, put margin, margin. Now because I'm still dealing with body, that's why it's within the body curly brackets. Margin 0 px, padding 0. Though in this case, for this one, you can just leave it at margin 0. But basically, it's saying keep it at 0, meaning everything should flow. There shouldn't be any spacing at the edges, because some browsers do that. There shouldn't be any spacing at the edges. Did you see a difference? That was very, what they call, I don't know if some people noticed it, but let me cut. Remember that I said some browsers space out your things. They put it in, like they have their own spacing and everything. Just think of it like there's something like this, all this banner that you can't write. Like when I'm writing here, it follows, this is the highest it can come to. I can't be writing here. So now imagine that every browser has it. It's small, but especially when you're styling in CSS, it's going to cause problems for you, especially when you're specifying borders and everything, because there will be that tiny space. So let's cut and see the difference. I've cut that one, so I want to refresh. Don't you see something? So look at it. You see our text is starting here, right? It's very small, but it's not bad per se. Now watch what happens when you put it. It's small, very, very small. Now I've saved that, refresh. That's now moved to the edges. So now imagine, let's say you were designing a box that's supposed to contain some things, and that thing now had padding. Padding is like, just imagine like a small space between the outer everywhere space and what you're actually designing. So imagine that thing had a small space. Now you're expecting it, let's say, to start from here to here. Because of the browser's normal space, it will start from here and maybe move extra. So this button padding helps you get rid of it. It's telling the browser put everything at 0. Okay, so I believe we understand the basics of CSS for now. So since we've explained that, let's go into a bit more of CSS. Let's start with aligning text. Aligning is more like specifying how the text should appear. Like in our writing system, you know how we start from the left, we write, like we go left, right. Like I'm starting here, we go like this. That's the same way text in HTML, text in CSS actually appears. They appear left to right. Now what if you want it to be in the center? You've created a div, or maybe it's an heading, and if you had noticed, all the headings, they will stay on the left side. What if you wanted it to be in the center? Let's go to text. Oh, let me use an heading as an example. No need to use a paragraph again. I'm leaving this once because I don't want us to forget. All right. Come in. It's already looking cramped, so yes, I prefer it this way. All right. So let's write our heading and move it to the center. We are using header 1. This is CSS. Save. Now, like I said, the best, we already know one way we can use style, but the best way is to come here. Like you can put style, then as you did with color, sorry, cross to, as we did with color, we'll put text and put text align, but it's a bit stressful. So this is what it should have been like if we're using this. This is now the text align, sorry, spelling, text align, center, and my semicolon at the end. We save it, we run. I prefer using Fireworks to test anything, but you said this is it. Personally, I prefer using Fireworks to test my projects, but because I'm teaching, I'm using Chrome. So that's one way to do it, but the preferable way, so it's easy for you to easily move to external CSS, which should be how you put your CSS pages. Just come here, put h1, semicolon. No need to type style, just go to text align, text align, colon, center. Okay, let me see if I have a previous one. Okay, this one, this is before I put the heading. This is when I ran it with the normal one. Yeah, so always show the current one. So let me come here. Yeah, always this current one. No, let me close and let's refresh. This is it, and let me do this so you see the code. Text align center. Now, if you notice when we did link, I want to use this to show you some tips. Since this is our first class, just show you some tips, tell you the different type of HTML. This one, the tip number 1 was the body, this code. Just to be on the safe side, just put it in all your CSS. All your CSS. That small padding the browsers give, it might not seem like much until it starts to affect your coding. Right, so just be on the safe side. You're creating new page, even before you start creating the other one, just put body, margin 0, padding 0. All right, so where was I? Okay, remember when we were doing links, href is equals to come in -a .1. I'm working on a new one today. There's on a CSS class that, then the former one was structure, so I want to link to structure the HTML. Save. I want to show you this, so I'm coming here, refreshing my browser. Right, so this is it. If I click it, obviously it will go. Now you realize that when you come here, it's always underlined, then when I click it, it takes me to our previous page where we did all this. Right, Now it's always underlined. If you look at all the websites you have been going to, no matter where their headers are usually things that are here on top, and they always have a different color to the rest of the page, right? You notice you will never see it underlined like this unless it's a beginner that is developing the website. You will never see them like, oh, about us, this thing, and they're underlined, or worse, they're following each other like this, right? So first thing we're going to do is how to remove the underline. Remember, this is A, and the thing is, notice how I put body is 1. If I create any other paragraph tag, as I've said, this one is pink, all of them will be pink. Every single one of them will be pink, so you have to be very careful. As I've said, H1 is aligned to the center. Any other H1 I create will be aligned to the center. Let me use this one as example for you. Yeah, save. You see, center. I did not re-specify anything. So once you're using the tag itself, like this H1, once you're using it, any other H1 will become that. If you want to restrict it to only this one, there is a way, but right now the current way you can do it without me getting you more confused, just come here, put your style, put your text align, and specify it for only this one. But if you want it to be a common thing, you just put H1 and everything will follow suit. So I went off track. So I was talking about how to remove the underline from showing. We come here, you know that one is A, the tag is A. So come here, curly bracket, tab, and do text decoration. Yep. And we put none. Save it. So this is it before. Let's refresh and see what we get. The underline has disappeared. That's the way to remove the underline in any of your code. So basically today I've decided to make today's one short. We've learned what CSS means. We've learned that we've actually stylishly been coding in CSS. We've learned what internal CSS means, and we'll learn what external CSS means at the end of the class. Don't worry, something very easy. We've also learned how to remove underlines from our links. We've also learned how to align text. We've also learned how to put background color, and we've learned how to remove that padding. So today's assignment, a very easy something. I want you to create 3 links. I want those links not to have any underline. So links, 3 links that go somewhere. That's when I say that go somewhere, when you click them they do something in your code anyway. You can even, to carry out this assignment, if you've done the last one, just go to your about us and all the rest, remove the underline for all of them. Makes your work easier. 3 links that go somewhere. Then also I want you, all your about us and the rest, especially if it's like, let's say this is the about us page, and as usual, because you didn't know, your about us is on the left hand side. I want it to be in the center. So center all your about us, contact us. Don't put them to the edges, just center them. And which other thing do I tell you to do? Okay, then I want to see this in your code. As the way we learned, every HTML page has all those 6 compulsory things. This is not compulsory in CSS, but I'm making it compulsory so you get used to it, because it's very helpful, especially when you're coding in CSS. So I want to see us do a mixture. I don't want your code. I don't want to see any code, any styling in this. That means I don't want inline CSS. Make your paragraph like write something, let it be a different color. If you are going to use header, that's why I used your about us and contact us. If you're going to use them, make them center and 3 links that go somewhere. So paragraph, okay, should be in color, and that's English. Have a colored text. Have a colored text. Have a colored text. And which other one did I type it to? Oh yes, include body margin. Alright, so have fun, all the best, and play around and see what wonderful things you can achieve by combining some certain things. Also note to don't make mistakes. You see, at the end of each thing there's a semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. Just always put it. Just put it. JSBin users, if with the frequency of you using JSBin, you'd have seen one place is HTML, one place is CSS, one place is JS, the other place is output. All the codes for your all the codes for your style tags, I would advise you to just put it in the CSS. Let's see how it works. I've not tried it before, but let's see how it works. I'll probably try it before the class starts. Okay, all the best. Bye.